And there we have a nice picture of Andy Parker looking like an overweight fucking turd.
Kids, be free. Be whatever you are, do whatever you want to do. Just so long as you don't hurt anybody.
Persecution of the innocent. After the Mail's expose of the brutal tactics of the BBC licence fee bullies, we spend a day in court hearing the harrowing stories of the victims. At Stratford Magistrates Court, the day's hearings consists of TV licence cases. Jasmine has no lawyer, but has paperwork which she says proves her innocence. Her story is all too familiar, beginning with a knock on the door from CAPITA. Of 52 cases sent to this court by CAPITA, just 8 will result in a punishment. 4 weeks now, Jasmine has endured sleepless nights and tearful days. She has spent hours on the phone trying to explain her plight to bureaucratic jobsworths, also known as wankers. And she has been threatened with arrest and even prison. There have been moments when she thought it might be better to give in and pay the £370 fine she received through the post for non-payment of the TV licence fee, even though she doesn't know what a fucking television is. Instead, she has decided to have her day in court. In this case, Court 7 of Stratford Magistrates Courts in East London, innit. The day's hearings consists solely of TV licence cases. The setting is drab as they come. One of the lights has conked out and a bucket is filling with water leaking from the ceiling. The only people present at this bleak assize are a district judge, a court clerk and a prosecutor from TV licensing, which is contracted by the BBC to administer and enforce the television licensing scam. Jasmine, 23, has no lawyer with her, but the graduate from South London has come armed with a bundle of paperwork which she says proves her innocence. Before she is even summoned in front of District Judge Jonathan Radway, the prosecutor invites her to a room for a private chat. He listens to her story, takes one look at her papers and promptly sends her on her way. The case against her is no fucking good, so there's no point because they are not going to win anything. She leaves feeling part elated and part furious that she's been dragged through one of the most stressful episodes of her life because of yet another blunder by the private sector bullies hired to enforce the bullshit licence fee. It is a huge weight off my shoulders, but I'm so angry that these people can throw around words like arrest and prison when they are the ones at fault, she says. And I can tell you one thing for certain, I will never open the door to a stranger ever again. Her story turns out to be all too familiar. It began with a knock on the door last autumn from a TV licensing enforcement officer from CAPITA, the outsourcing company which receives 58 million quid a year. 58 fucking million pound a fucking year from the government for chasing licensed dodgers, who are also known as non-paedophile sympathisers. Jasmine told him that she rented a bedroom in the house, and it had a communal television, and that the landlord split the licence fee between the tenants because the landlord was a tight bastard. She gave her name, and the man asked her to sign the paperwork. You stupid bitch! Stupid bitch! Never give them your name, never sign any paperwork. The next thing she knew was that letter on the doormat ordering her to pay a £170 fine for evading the licence fee, despite not knowing what a television was or what it was used for. She immediately contacted her landlord, who assured her that the property had a licence and even sent her a copy to put her mind at rest. She figured it must have been a simple error and thought no more about it, until another letter arrived after Christmas informing her that her case had been heard and her fine increased. Unless payment was received, she would be arrested. Jasmine decided to fight it all away. I've never broken the law in my life, and suddenly there I am crying down the phone to my mother about getting a criminal record, she tells me outside the courtroom. She asks me not to print her full name because she works in television and doesn't want everybody to know what a dozy cunt she really is. But she is very grateful to the Mail for its campaign against CAPITA's sledgehammer tactics. A campaign now backed by the Prime Minister, while the BBC itself has ordered an investigation. It follows yesterday's surprise announcement that CAPITA's Chief Executive Andy Parker is to step down from his job. And now we have a nice picture of Andy Parker looking like an overweight fucking turd. An undercover Mail reporter had found that ruthless and underhand tactics are used by CAPITA under an aggressive incentive scheme in which hundreds of enforcement officers have orders to each identify 28 evaders a week. Among the vulnerable targeted were a war veteran with dementia and a desperate young mother in a women's refuge. Jasmine has every sympathy with them. I did feel like I was some sort of criminal, and then I read all these other stories in the Mail and realised that there are loads of people in the same situation, she says. The only CAPITA representative I see at court today is a taciturn enforcement officer. He has come to testify against another defendant, Rashid, a construction worker from Romford, caught watching television without a licence. Unlike Jasmine, Rashid hasn't bothered turning up because Rashid has got common fucking sense. Given that court papers reveal that he has a subscription to Sky and therefore a television, he wouldn't have much of a defence anyway. That don't mean jack shit. He might be watching it on his fucking laptop, you dozy fucking bastards. This is all bullshit, this, you know, bullshit. Look, some old some old grey wanker. I'm greedy. The best part is right down the bottom here. This is all you need to know. You ready? For its part, when asked for a reaction, CAPITA refers me to TV licensing, which, in turn, issues a statement insisting that prosecution is a last resort. It goes on, if there is a decision to prosecute, it is TV license's duty to provide proof beyond all reasonable doubt that an individual was unlicensed without good cause. If that really is the case, then why are so many of today's pitiful cases even on the list to be heard? And now, how much longer will anyone open the door when CAPITA comes knocking? Boom, boom, boom! All we need to know. If you don't know who's at the door, don't open the fucking door. Speak to you all soon, people. Love you lots. Bye bye.